So today we'll be taking a look at Alexa Bliss's big return, what's going on with Maryse, Bobby Lashley vs. Brock Lesnar, and much more Raw-related topics. This week's Raw actually gave us a lot to talk about for the first time in a long time. So let's start things off with what everyone was most excited for, and that was Alexa Bliss's return to Raw. WWE had first announced the big return by saying that Alexa's journey back to Raw would be starting this week. We previously talked about how this may not be a return to the ring right away, and how it might be a mini video series building the story to her actual return. And it turns out that's exactly what it was. Late in the show, right before the main event, WWE aired what they called Alexa Bliss's first therapy session. It was a 3-minute segment that picks back up with Alexa Bliss inside of this therapy session. Who made her go to therapy? Was it WWE? Was it her own decision? The answer is still unclear, but considering how much it appears that Alexa isn't really a fan of the session, should be safe to assume that she's being forced to attend these sessions. So the segment picks up during the start of the therapy session. The therapist is sitting in the chair, and Alexa is sitting in her signature crisscross position in her chair. The session starts off with Alexa Bliss putting her supernatural abilities on display right away, as she makes the moving balls stop moving just by staring it down. The therapist definitely notices what she did, but continues to start the session off and welcome Alexa to his office. He tells Alexa that she's gonna be okay, and his first exercise for her was deep breathing. He tells her that the first step to recovery is admitting that she has a problem. In a very sarcastic and Harley Quinn-like tone, Alexa says that she has a problem and tells the doctor to fix her. The doctor points out that she's been through a lot of trauma lately, but that it was time to heal. He then also says that Alexa has rehabilitated herself to a certain extent over the last few weeks. So that piece of dialogue there tells Alexa was probably in a worse condition several weeks ago, but is slowly starting to come back down. The doctor makes Alexa recall the events of Extreme Rules, and we see Alexa get visually irate. But when he asks her about how does that make her feel, she shakes it off, smiles, says she's thirsty, and fills the cup until it overflows. She grabs the doctor by the tie, asks him how that makes him feel, and then proceeds to absolutely lose it. She throws the glass against the wall, tears up his notebook, and throws things at the doctor while he runs out of the room. Alexa also mentioned that she'll be seeing him next week, and then the segment ends. The segment received mixed reaction from the fans. Some thought it was a weird direction to take Alexa Bliss in. Some said, hey, it's only week 1, let's see where it goes before we judge it. And that's true, it's still very early on, but funny and chaotic therapy sessions is something that WWE has heavily used over the years, especially with Daniel Bryan and Kane. So some fans didn't like them reusing that same sort of idea here for Alexa's return, but again, it is early, and maybe it does go somewhere. Like the doctor alluded to, it doesn't seem like this was Alexa's first session. By the way he was talking, it sounded like she's been there for a few weeks and was actually making progress before this week happened. It seemed that the second she sees the events of Extreme Rules, she loses her mind. So that still seems to be the main trigger for her flip out. So what's next? Well, it would appear that we'll continue to see more therapy sessions for Alexa Bliss anywhere from the next 3 to 5 weeks. That's usually how long WWE tends to keep these sort of mini weekly series going for. But if they have a bigger plan for Alexa, maybe it goes even longer than that. But they have to be very careful that it doesn't get to the point of being a bit tedious. As long as it's something new every week and we're going to learn something new about what Alexa has gone through over the last few months, then by all means, you can keep it going for a bit. Some fans were also disappointed with the segment because there was no change to Alexa's character or appearance. And the answer to that is that, well, she's in therapy, right? The end game of these therapy sessions will obviously be to change her behavior, get rid of that grudge that she's holding about Extreme Rules, and move her forward. So for everyone that's hoping for a change in character, remember that it has to be a gradual process. Just look at how long it took for Alexa to go from her normal self to this evil persona. That change itself took several months and was a long story. So if Alexa is going to change again, then it's going to be another gradual process, and maybe that's what they're using these sessions for. Can't just see her come back in an ordinary persona like the last 2 years never happened. That would be horrible. So it does have to be this way. It's the first session. Alexa is obviously her Harley Quinn like normal self here, but as the therapy session goes on, one of two things is going to happen. Alexa is either going to make a big improvement back to normalcy again, or the sessions will do the opposite and make her even darker. That's honestly the only two possible directions here for this therapy story. It's going to either work or go horribly wrong. And knowing WWE and Alexa's revenge story that she could still have with Charlotte, it would make more sense for the sessions to go horribly wrong. Nothing gets fixed, and Alexa comes after Charlotte harder than ever before. Charlotte was the reason for the hiatus. Charlotte was the reason Alexa Bliss is in these sessions right now. It just makes a lot of sense if Alexa was to still track down Charlotte. So, review of the first therapy session for Alexa Bliss. It wasn't the most eventful segment, but it did its job to introduce us to these therapy sessions. This was like the intro, so hopefully next week's segment we can continue to dive deeper into her mind and what's going on with her. Maryse walked out on The Miz during the segment with Edge and Beth Phoenix. We know The Miz and Maryse usually fake a lot of these incidents, but it would appear that Maryse really left The Miz out there alone. During Raw Talk, The Miz revealed that Maryse immediately left the building, and he was trying to text her to see what's going on. He did cover up for Maryse, saying that she just had something that she had to take care of. Obviously, that's not how it came across to everyone else. Definitely seemed like she was having some second thoughts about facing Beth and Edge. So it'll be interesting to see if The Miz talks Maryse back into the match, and if she can find that confidence again. Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley opened up Raw this week with a war of words. Lashley said that Lesnar has been running from him for the past 20 years, while Brock claims that he didn't even know who Lashley was until a couple of weeks ago at Day 1. Lesnar calls him a Brock Lesnar wannabe, drops the mic and leaves while Lashley just stands there. Fans thought the end of this segment was a bit weird and made Lashley come off as being a bit soft. Sure, he brutally attacked his former Hurt Business partners after that happened, but everyone wanted to see him do that to Brock, the guy who just called him out. So everyone is hoping that we'll eventually see one of those wild brawls between Brock and Bobby that makes the whole locker room come out to break them up. Hopefully we'll continue to see some great segments between the two of those massive superstars. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.